So typically we talk about Kerry King whenever we talk about Slayer, either that or their music. Kerry King's kind of a magnet for microphones whenever it comes to the heavy metal press, but Tom Araya has now attracted some of those microphones away from Kerry King because of some statements that were made during a concert in Switzerland on Monday night, which is June the 27th. It's about the topic of gun control, which here in America and elsewhere is kind of a hot button debate, and it's one that definitely got a reinvigorated spark as far as being all over social media and all over the news based off of what happened down in Orlando, Florida, the Pulse shootings that occurred where 49 people were killed and the injured take the total toll of those affected to over 100. So I'm prepared to speak about this. I feel a bit ill-equipped because of some personal issues that we'll get to whenever we move past the comments. Let's see what Tom said that is sparking such an outrage. Let's see how this started off very innocent and turned into something that was not. So while introducing the song Mandatory Suicide, I can already see the looks. During last night's Slayer concert in Switzerland, Tom Araya voiced his opinion on gun control, telling the audience, "Is it true that every household has to own a rifle or gun? No. I thought everybody was supposed to have a rifle or gun in their home. It's not right. How else are you going to defend your country? Where you are in the world, you need to protect yourselves. Not from each other, but from invaders. And you know what I'm talking about, right? You should be aware of your invaders, people that come here to do you harm. It's not right. You should be able to protect and defend your country. That's the way it should be everywhere." Even in the articles, this is in italics, because this is where it takes a more worldly turn, and this is where it goes from Tom speaking about the Swiss in particular to then taking it to a global level. And I think that's where a lot of the issues and a lot of the debate and the hurter feelings are coming from. Because when you don't have anything to protect yourself or your fellow countrymen, what happens? People fucking die. They do, don't they? Yeah. Do you see it going on? I'm not going to name names, but you can see what's going on in other countries because they can't protect themselves. And that's what I'm talking about. Being able to protect yourself and your fellow countrymen and your fucking country. I'm being serious, man. This isn't a fucking joke. You know, it really sucks to know that other people die because you can't protect them. That fucking sucks. I agree. That fucking sucks that you can't protect everybody. It's kind of a fact of life. Now, this is one that obviously felt geared toward the Swiss people and then took on a very worldly tone. And there was definitely some suggestion toward countries such as America that have been seen a bunch of mass shootings that have involved members that have pledged their loyalties to enemies and things of that variety, the whole ISIS connection that you see with shootings in San Bernardino. You see that a little bit with the Pulse shooting. That was something that was seen as a potential link. You see that with other forms or fashions, such as Paris shootings. So you could also be talking about France. There's a lot you could talk about. This is a world issue. This is a world issue that definitely takes on brand new life and focus in America, considering you have two sides that are fervently arguing, one for, one against, and they're both very, very loud with nothing really being accomplished. Of course, on the one side, you have a bunch of people that say, well, Obama just tried to take our guns away for the past 8 years. That's the kind of president that he is. We need to impeach that motherfucker. That way, if somebody comes in here and tries to steal my TV, you mean to tell me I can't shoot that motherfucker even though I stole the TV from Walmart myself? I think that's a crockload of dookie. Then what are we going to do whenever all them sand people come over here and get on our soil? And none of us got guns. They all got guns. We're not going to have guns. We're just going to say, hey, how you doing? Oh, you going to shoot me? Okay, go ahead, shoot me. I don't want to live no more. That's one of the sides. One of the sides is that we need it for protection, whether it be from our fellow countrymen that are planning to invade our homes, our privacy, and attempt to take things that are ours, either that or, maim us and do us harm, either that or protection from, as they say, invaders, folks that have come into the country with means to destroy the country. Now, how many times has that happened in America ever since its inception? It's not something that happens all that often. It's something that perhaps 9/11, there's going to be a whole debate there. Well, this was an inside job. No, it wasn't. That's something that can be debated between people with tinfoil hats and a lot of camouflage on and an American flag in their background. This is instead something that also takes on the other side, which is the side of the people that are calling for gun control, even though guns aren't actually causing the problem. It's the person that's wielding them. It's not as though the gun, the little place where the bullet comes out, is not saying to the person, hey, you should use me to kill a bunch of people. Remember whenever you played Grand Theft Auto and you killed all those prostitutes, and then you stole a car and got an RPG and blew up cops and helicopters? Wasn't that a lot of fun? Didn't that give you
you a nice rush? Wasn't your reputation just sky high? Now imagine doing that in real life. Kill everybody. Kill your parents. Kill your friends.
It's not happening. That side's not happening. The other side isn't happening. No one's aiming to take your guns away. There's a debate about this because assault weaponry is a little bit of a different story, only based around the idea of, do you really need an assault rifle to defend off somebody who's going to invade your home? Privacy seems to be one of the biggest fruits of this. I think something small, it takes one bullet to kill somebody, but I don't know. This is an opinion that for me, I'm really kind of gray. I'm very neutral on this because I feel the idea of having a gun for protection, and if that's something that's for you, then go right ahead. Go for it. It's something that I feel is, first of all, it's protected by the Constitution. Second of all, it's something that if it helps you sleep a little bit better at night and feel a little bit good about your chances, if something bad happens, then go for it. It's just for me, myself, it's not something that's high up on my priority list. I'm not prepared to sleep with a gun underneath of my pillow with my finger on the trigger because with my luck, I would wake up with scrambled brains all over my ceiling. That's just sort of the luck that I have, and that's just the reality of it. Either that or I'll end up shooting the cat like that one scene from the Boondock Saints. But I think Tom here, his opinion is clearly on the idea of being pro-guns. He wants there to be guns in every home, so he feels that it's something that's very, very necessary in order to protect ourselves from invaders, whether they be domestic, either that or foreign. And in the world that we're experiencing today, where it is one that seems to have a lot of unrest associated with it, where we're seeing the number of assaults that are occurring, and it's no longer like the past, where a serial killer is not using just a gun in order to implement their fear. They were using all different means, whether it be knives, asphyxiation, whether they were killing them and then eating them, that are disposing of them through creative ways. It's a completely different psychological construct. Mass shootings is something that is not necessarily all of that's, planned, or if it is planned, it's something that involves a random array, usually of targets. It's something that, it's a really weird debate to be having in the wake of such terrible, terrible things. We've seen a lot of mass shootings in America over the course of the past couple of years. It's something that's been rehashed and recycled a lot with some of the creeds. Gun control is something that certainly seems like it would help. It's one that tries to eliminate everything. But here's the reality of it. Whether you have universal gun control or you don't, America has one problem that a lot of other countries probably also have, but it's not something that we hear about, obviously, considering that's in their own culture. The American culture is extremely irresponsible. The American culture is also one that does not handle change very well, and one that, if they really want to find a way, they will find a way. It isn't going to stop mass murder. It's definitely not going to stop mass murder. You'll have to ban everything from, large hunting knives to sporks in order to try to do that. And you'll also have to cut off people's hands and arms, and then they'll use their legs. Essentially, will just have to be torsos with heads in order to ban all opportunity for mass murder. Because there's some strong people out there, and if you have strong will and strong ambition, you can do anything. And that includes some of the most wretched acts that humanity has to offer. I think what Tom is saying here, I think what Tom is sort of displaying, is a little bit extreme. I think it's a little bit crazy. It's a little bit on the high scale. However, it is also something that does breed the debate and does breed a little bit of thought. Is it something where we are living in a hotbed, where at any point in time, over the next coming days, weeks, years of our existence, that the world could explode into global war once again, and the people that do not have any way or any means of defending themselves will be the first to go, the quickest to suffer, the quickest to die? Or is this something that is rooted deeply upon paranoia of such an event or such an idea? Is it something that's deeply rooted on the concept of protection, but one that is quickly defended whenever it is used for other means? There was a lady who just recently spoke out in defense of having guns, of the Second Amendment, and she was very pro-gun. And recently, during a domestic dispute that involved her daughters, shot both of them and killed them. It's amazing how something that is said to be so primed for protection, and in this one case, and again, I'm not stating this as a universal truth, I'm just stating that in this one case, that tool that is used for protection was instead used with maliciousness to gun down the two seeds, the two spawns, the two children of the woman who wielded it by her own hand. This is a debate and a topic that will run for a very long time in America, and probably will run for a very long time in other countries as well. It's probably one that will never have a true solution that everybody will agree upon, because this is two very divisive sides. This is almost a civil war whenever it comes to this topic, much like a lot of other things in America, much like a lot of other debates that this country itself has been facing. This is a topic that I think Tom really approached with the best of intentions whenever he began his statements, but in the end, it turned to something very radical. It turned to something that's going to cause a lot of debate and a lot of unrest. Many people are going to take a look at those statements as being dead wrong. Many people are going to look at these statements and say that he's a lunatic. Is he a lunatic? Isn't he a lunatic? What really is right? Do we really even know? I want to know your thoughts about this. Leave them in the comments below. My name is CKN, and I hope that I presented this debate, or presented some of my own sort of thoughts or opinions of this in a way that was fair and balanced. You know, one that was not trying to really insult one side more than the other. If I did, then this is actually one debate that I will apologize for if it seemed like I was being hard on one side or the other. Because this is one where, like I said, I'm extremely gray on this. I'm very much in the middle. I believe that it's something that could easily be solved, well, not easily solved, but could be solved through a bit of mutual compromise. It could be better solved by placing heads together instead of bashing heads against one another, but that's just me. Leave your thoughts in the comments. If you think that I was an asshole about this, leave that in there as well. Once again, I'm CKN, and I'll talk to each and every one of you guys next time. Take care.